a little live stream from the van, and had a really good on Saturday, which we did. We went to the Estival Festival in Kankakee, Illinois, and it was really cool, man. I actually felt like a musician. I was treated well. We got there and they pulled up on a truck. We loaded all our gear into the truck, and then we requested a golf cart to take us to the stage area, backstage area, where we proceeded to unload our equipment. And they treated us really well. I mean, everybody was really friendly. Crowd was very good, very reactive. It was a decent sized crowd. Mitch even had a fan. There's this girl kept saying, "I know these guys. I love you. I love you." And I think Mitch said he just met her that day, so that was pretty cool. But we had a lot of fun. I enjoyed myself playing on the stage that day. Um, Cleaning my glasses because otherwise I can't see. Still, I got some scratches I think on the lens, right where I my vision is. But um, it was a good time. The Estival Festival in Kankakee, Illinois. It was a metal band that went on before us, and I don't know what the band was that was after us, but because we kind of hightailed it out of there before the rain started coming down, because it was getting ready to rain, and we didn't want to get wet. So, but it's Monday. It's the 22nd of September, and 2025, and I chew gum because I don't know. It helps me not think about not think about food. And I've lost a bunch of weight, and I want to continue that trend. Um, I was like, when I started on this weight loss journey, I was 407 pounds, which was 2 years ago. And now I'm 335 pounds, somewhere around there. So lost quite a bit of weight. It was a slow loss. It wasn't a real fast loss, but of course I had to have help to do that. I take this once a week shot, and it's also for my diabetes. I have type 2 diabetes, and it's a once a week shot. It's called Manjaro, and it really helps with appetite suppression, and also keeps your energy up because when you're not eating as much, sometimes your energy goes down. And I noticed that, like, when I would try and curb my appetite or whatnot, um, on my own without any medication, that, man, I just get so tired and weak without without any food. If I didn't eat, I just felt horrible. But with this Manjaro, if I don't eat, I'm good. I don't feel weak or tired. I feel alert and refreshed. And I don't know if any of you have ever considered taking one of those shots. I only had to take it because of my diabetes, but it has helped me. One of the side effects is the appetite suppression, so it's helped me lose some weight. And so I'm grateful for that because I feel a lot better, especially in my knees. Because when I was that heavy, I was 407 pounds. When I was that heavy, my knees really, whew, man, some days it was hard for me to walk. And I feel I feel much better. You know, cutting the grass, I can do that now. Although we do have I do have my daughter's boyfriend. He's living with us, Edgar, and he's a great help. He's been doing the grass and keeping up on it, and it is a godsend to have someone to help out with the chores around the house. This live stream that's coming up this Saturday, um, he's even volunteered to help me with that. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it because he's been working on the weekends lately, but if not, I can pretty much handle it on my own since I'm going to be behind the camera, not performing. So it should be a lot better for me. But yeah, I just figured I'd get on here and do a little live stream. And I don't know about these live streams because some, like, this is just a talking head live stream. So it's like nobody really gives a shit about what you say. But I've noticed that the music live streams do really well. And I want to continue to do those. Um, I just do my thing, and if people, if they don't, well, that's them. It's up to them, you know. But I do. I haven't done a whole lot of videos, you like long form videos. Mostly done. I've done live streams and I've done some shorts on my channel. And I like doing the shorts because I like to just greet people and say have a great day because I really want people to go away with a positive vibe from my channel. Whether it's their interest in music or just kind words coming from somebody to them that they don't even know, wishing them a good day and hope they have a great week and all that stuff. And I really like doing that because I feel that there's so much negative crap out in the world right now that needs some positive vibes going out there. And even with the music that I play with Halo Moon, we try to keep those positive vibes. I mean, it's difficult sometimes to keep the positive vibe, but we also do a little bit of political commentary within the lyrics that we do. Um, we got a new song called Cherry Tree, which is kind of commentary on the way things are today and kind of my feelings on where we need to go, what we need to focus on, and then have a couple others that are kind of the same. But I just want to be positive. I don't want to be negative. I don't want to be a complainer. I want to give solutions within the lyrics to not. I mean, I shouldn't say solutions. I should say just a positive outlook instead of a negative, the world is ending type of outlook. So that's a Halo Moon, the band. We try to do that, put some positive vibes out there. And for the most part, that's what we do. Um, there was one song that I did called Leave My House. That wasn't a positive vibe, but it was positive for me to get that get those lyrics out there and vent on something that I was experiencing. And I think most songwriters can use their songwriting ability to do that, but I think it's necessary for your sanity, really, to be able to vent to people and stuff like that. But so I'm sitting here on my lunch. I had a McDonald's Happy Meal, and I got a Happy Meal, and I'm gonna give the toy to Miss Lily. Got a little toy. Miss Lily's my granddaughter, and she's so cute. She calls me Pop Pop. She calls me Papa. So, when I get up in the morning on the weekends, I'm always greeted with Papa. So that's really cool. I really like that. She's so cute, and she just wants to hang out with me. And sometimes I take her downstairs in my studio, and she plays on the drum set. She really likes to bang on the drums, and she's very cute. She enjoys that. So, and she calls them Boom Boom. But there's a lot of negative stuff going on in this world, and I just think that being positive is the way to combat the negative. And if you can be positive to the people around you and people that you meet, I think it makes the world a better place. Not to say you don't understand that there are problems in the world and that you try and solve those problems, but just be kind and be nice toward one another and uplift each other rather than tear each other down. And I think that's the way to get everything back on track, is by doing that. Um, Sometimes problems take some real life hard knocks that you have to overcome. People need to be aware that nothing is easy in this world, but you got to work towards it. And not saying that people don't work towards things, but instead of making things more difficult, so that when people are working towards something positive, that we try to make things easier, so that when they uh, do something positive, that something good happens, not just for the world in general, but for themselves as well. I try to keep my channel non-political, but you just can't help but choose a side sometimes. And I'm pretty sure I'm on the right side of everything. And with that said, I would consider myself politically like aligned. I would consider myself like center left, I guess you'd say, because there's some things that I believe, you know, uh, the conservative mindset is a good thing. Don't spend more than you can afford. Uh, Work hard, work for a living, do everything you can to survive. Basically, just don't be a lazy bum. And then on the left side, I think everybody deserves the right to have the opportunity to live in our society and thrive. And whether you're black, white, Hispanic, Asian, of Asian descent, whatever your skin color, whatever your personal preferences as far as sexual partner, life partner, whatever. I think that's none of my business. And if you're happy in your situation, um, and you're thriving and enjoying life, that's what matters to me. Not the difference of you and me. I may I do believe in marriage, not necessarily the strict Christian marriage of man and woman, but I believe in marriage, the the legal binding of two people, so that they can work together through this life and thrive and survive and be able to love one another and keep one another safe and sound. So I myself, I am a heterosexual male, and I don't think it matters to anybody whether I am or I am not. So just by me saying that, I kind of, I don't know, that rubs me the wrong way. Just saying that. I don't know why I said that, but I think it doesn't matter what I am, as long as I'm a good person. And I hope that you feel the same way. Now, I know that my channel is mostly about music and my musical journey, but it's also about my relationships with people and the how you treat one another. Uh, and I try to treat everybody fairly. I mean, doesn't I'm not going to say that I'm a pushover. I don't let people push me around. That's for sure. I don't deal with bullies very well. I tend to push back, and bullies don't like that, so they tend to go away. So, but I feel that if you're a human being and you're living life and you're doing the best you can, you shouldn't worry about what other people think about you. Um, you can take their advice if you want. You can, try to see their perspective. But as far as conforming to their beliefs and doing what they say and being uh, controlled by somebody else, that doesn't fly with me. I've never, I grew up watching the Jim Jones crap on TV with that cult and the things that happen to those people. And, you know, if you have a religion and you believe in God and you go to church and do all that stuff, that's great for you. That is not me. I wouldn't consider myself an atheist. I would consider myself I don't know. And I guess that would be agnostic. I don't know what the truth is. All I know is my truth, and through my experiences in my life. But I'm not sure where I'm going with what I'm saying, but it's just things that are on my mind. That's all. Because of all the chaos that's going on right now. I think that we as humans need to really focus on the humanity rather than what party we're in or what religion we're in, what clique we're in. As far as I'm concerned, we're in the human clique, meaning this: we're on this little ball of a planet in this vast universe, and we're all in it together on this ball, this sanctuary island in the vast blackness of space. So why not make the best of it while we're here and treat each other well and treat, and treat Mother Nature. I call it Mother Nature because without nature, how would we survive? Provides all our food. Yes, we've chemically enhanced some of that food, and we've learned to make things chemically that we can survive on, but it really isn't that good for you, as they're finding out. So take care of the earth, take care of each other. I know I sound like a little, what do they call those guys? Snowflake. I don't consider myself a snowflake, not at all, because you go to try and bash my head in, I'm going to strike back, because I believe in defending yourself. You can't be bullied. And like I said, the only people who don't like me saying that are people who like to bully and get away with it. But I don't know why I got on here to, and I came to this, but it's just, man, there's just so much negative stuff going on in the world right now that got to have some positive stuff going on. And if I can put some positive out there, why not? So with this live stream, I say take care of each other, look out for one another. If you're a hater, well, it's time for you to start loving. I guarantee you the people that you hate don't hate you. They don't understand you and why you hate. That's for sure. And hate never solved anything. It just makes things worse. So if a person isn't doing what you feel is right, talk to them about it. Don't hate them. And use kind words. Don't accuse and don't point the finger. So I'm kind of putting myself out there a little bit. I don't, like I said, I don't really like to be political. Although, I think in this day and age, you have to choose a side here. You have to choose between right and wrong. And that's the side I try to choose as right. When they say what the golden rule is, do unto others as you'd have them do unto you, right? So if you treat people ill, you expect that back. If you treat them with kindness and understanding, you should expect that back. And a lot of times you don't get that back, but you know what? That's what you should do, always. Help people out. Help yourself. And I think by being kind to others, you do help other people. As far as like music goes, though, I feel music is a language that can help you communicate to others. Whether it's negative stuff or positive stuff. There are some bands that point out all the negative out in the world, but have no solutions. And they express their anger and frustration at all the negative things that are happening in the world, but don't provide you with any guidance to what should we do about these things. And a lot of problems aren't that easily solved, especially with hunger and we have a housing crisis right now in this country where the rents and mortgages are so expensive. It's I don't understand how the majority of Americans can afford a place to live with the way prices are. I mean, I think here in the Chicagoland area for a one-bedroom apartment, it's $1,400 a month. That's a lot of money. Now, I live in Northwest Indiana. I have a three-bedroom home, two bath with a basement, nice yard, and my mortgage is $1,500. And that's, it's not easy making that payment, $1,500. Plus your insurance that you got to have for your mortgage and the insurance on the property in case damage happens. Life is not cheap. That's for sure. And with the majority of the people in this country working not very well paying jobs. I don't understand how a lot more people aren't out on the street living in tents or living in the woods. I went back to school later in life. I got my degree in advertising, and I spent a lot of money to get that degree that I still owe actually. So like I think I'm $80,000 in student debt that I have, and that's because in order to do that education, at the time, the job that I had, I only had part-time jobs for since 2004 till 2014. I had part-time jobs to just survive. So some of the student loans that I would get, I would use towards household goods. Like I had to buy a car twice during my education because the car that I was able to afford didn't last very long. I'm telling you guys a lot about myself because I just want you to know I'm just a regular guy trying to make it in this world, and music has been my therapy, my go-to to help me get through everything. This life is not easy, and anybody who tells you it is has either been born into money or is very astute and very sharp as far as learning and education. Uh, Julian, my son, he's very smart, uh, quick to learn. Uh, I think Julian had pretty much had straight A's, maybe had a B here or there in high school. Didn't struggle much because they were very, very sharp. My son, Nick, he was not as astute and as sharp, but very intelligent, just didn't retain the education as well or quickly as Julian. And it's been a struggle for him, and it's been a struggle for Julian. Julian, very smart, very smart. Just is going through it right now. Didn't went. I don't think Julian went to school after high school. Right now, Julian is in Europe with Julian's partner, uh, and I think they're in England right now. I think they were going to France, but um, they're out there, and Julian can't get a green card to work out there, so they're wanting to come back here to the U.S. so that Julian can work. But with the current climate, the way it is, as far as things going on in this country, I don't know if I want Julian to come back here. I wish Julian can find some way to get a green card in Europe out there and just stay out there for the time being. But those are my thoughts. That's what I think about, and I think that you know the only way we're going to get through these tough times is by relying on each other and helping each other and making sure that we're taking care of the necessities of people, because necessities, food, clothing, shelter, all of that good stuff. I believe healthcare should be a necessity or a right. um, are we going to have to pay for that? Of course we are, because nothing's free, right? But we can take care of it with tax dollars and whatnot. And I think the healthier people are, the more they don't have to worry about health care, the better off we're going to be. It's going to be less stress on businesses if you get rid of the cost of insurance for them to provide for their employees. Um, I say, unfortunately, insurance industry, if you work in an insurance industry, your time is limited because it's not a sustainable industry. The insurance is kind of like a middleman for healthcare. Uh, it's it's the just in case mentality, I guess. But why not just have a tax? We already have a Medicaid tax or Medicare tax. Why don't just maybe increase that tax a little bit and provide health care for everybody? And then businesses won't be stressed as far as like trying to provide health care for their people. They're taken care of and they can thrive too. Businesses can thrive. People can thrive. You don't have to worry about health care. If you something wrong with you, you go to the doctor and get it taken care of. Simple as that. And it doesn't matter that, okay, let's say I'm an able-bodied person, I'm paying taxes, and I'm paying for this. Shouldn't matter to me if Joe down the street, right, has a disability, he can't work, and I'm providing health care for Joe because maybe Joe eventually will be able to get himself to a position where he can be a taxpayer. Maybe there's a health need that is going to be provided to Joe that will enable him to become a contributor to society and to the taxes and everything like that. But as the way it is now, basically, if you don't have insurance in this country and you get really bad sick, you're basically going to be broke the rest of your life because it's so expensive. I went to the emergency room. I have health insurance through my work. I went to an ER, spent the night over in the hospital, right? I spent the weekend actually. So it was went there Friday night, spent Friday night, and then Saturday night, came home Sunday. For those 2 days, it was almost $80,000, the bill. All right. I fortunately had insurance, so I think I owe, I don't know, like $1,200, which I'm having trouble finding that, right? Finding the money to pay for that. That's $1,200. Like, I couldn't imagine not having insurance. But what I can imagine is having health care for everybody, and which would be like Medicare, like the government single payer system where no matter what hospital you go to, no matter what doctor you go to, they put your government Medicare number in, boop, bills paid, you ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to lose your house. You don't have to lose your car. It's just a better way to live, I think. And there are a lot of countries out there that have adopted that way, and it works for them. And I think it'll work for us too. Matter of fact, I think if businesses aren't involved in getting this done, that it probably won't happen because they got to look out for themselves. And I think if they do that, if they get on board with all of this, then we'll be all right. But as it stands now, it ain't happening. So I got 2 more stops, then I'm done for the day. Man, I got to go to Evanston, and then I go to Chicago and deliver in Chicago, and then back to Broadview. So if you don't know, Broadview, they have there've been some protests at Broadview because they have an ICE detention center there, and it's been making the news lately. And it's like, I would say it's like 4 from where I work, and we hear the helicopters up in the air when I'm sitting at the warehouse waiting to go home. I usually hear the helicopters out there hovering around, filming everything. It's just sad that our country is in the state that it's in. But anyways, I'm gonna cut the live stream off. It's time for me to go back to work. And if you tuned into the live stream, I appreciate it. If you're just watching it later, I appreciate it as well. And just remember, be kind to each other and be positive. All right, that's it. Bye.